Hello Arun and welcome to my Unreal Engine 4 tutorial series on how to make an inventory system. Last time we left off with these things, so whenever we interact we can add our things in our inventory. So let me show you real quick. So this is our bush, but you can see even if I facing towards my bush, it won't showing this E icon, and if I facing outside somewhere and then after I facing towards this bush, it going to show this E icon. You can see it doesn't showing even if my camera is facing towards this. So this is a bug, but that's a simple fix. Just go over your trace function we have just created on the previous lectures, this one, and you can see we are tracing the item, and if it's the item is not traced by previous, then we are going to set the receive trace to true. So on the second branch, the false part, this one will go to receive trace without setting the item, this one. So it will directly go to this. Let me just make a reroute node so you can see this. So if it's true, then it set the item of traced item and then it gonna go to receive trace. But if it false, then it will directly go to the receive trace. It compile and save, and now the camera detection will work fine. So yes, for this you can see one requested feature was this one. So whenever you open inventory, your game should be paused, right? And whenever you toggle the inventory off, your game would be open again. So it's also a simple thing. Just open your toggling event inside your inventory component. Go to your toggle inventory function we have created. Let's mix us a little bit room. So you can do this one, set pause, the game pause. If it's not paused, then yes, our game is not paused. If it's true, then our game is paused. But if your game is paused, then your all the static mesh, all the 3D geometry, all things will gonna go at a certain place. It won't gonna move. So if you want to examine an item by clicking and dragging, so it won't gonna move because our game is paused. So this is not gonna work here. So what we're gonna do rather is we gonna set the dilation. So search for set dilation. Where was set global time dilation, this one. So when our game is paused, the time dilation would be 0. If our game is not paused, then our set time dilation to 1. So just add these two lines. So if we toggle our inventory, if it's not valid, then we're gonna toggle our inventory on, and before that we're gonna pause the game by setting the time dilation to 0. If it's not, then we want to toggle off inventory. So when we toggle off, we want to set the time dilation back to 1. Hit compile and let's test this. So right now my game is moving. You can see this player is animating. If I hit tab, then the player is stopped animating because it's paused, and we have opened our inventory. If I tab again, then you can see the player is animating again. You can also check this with this little swirling effect of this question mark. So it is animating. If I hit tab, it stopped because the game is paused, so nothing is happening. And if I hit again, it is also. So these are the two things. First was the camera issues we have fixed, and second one is this pause effect. There are also two requested features of inventory music, the SFX. So we're gonna cover this on later on. So right now I'm just gonna save this. So what we're gonna do in today is, whenever we open our inventory, you can see our 8 slots. So if I pick this item, you can see one item is added. If I click on this, one inventory action should be pop up, and we have several options like examine, modify, the discard item, use item, certain things. So if I click on this, that should be pop up here. So let's make this. So open your UI, because we're gonna make all the user interface inside this folder, and create a user interface widget blueprint. We're gonna call it inventory actions. Open that up. Click on this canvas panel and just hit delete, because we don't need that. What we actually need is a size box, because we want to make a size of this and make it to desired, so we can view this how much we wanted. The width would be, for me it's 200 is fine, and we don't want to change height override, because it's gonna change eventually on we add the events, like whatever the buttons you want. Right now considerably we have 4 buttons. First is combine, then modify, I mean the first is examine, then combining items, then use item, and then the discard item, the 4 buttons. So how are you gonna add that? So just add vertical bar, the vertical box, because we want to add the box all the buttons vertically by one, and add the buttons 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we have added 4 buttons. So you can see there is one button, and we want to add a text inside that. So just grab a text and add inside the button, something like this. So we have added 4. Yep. But the text, I think the text is a little bit big, and if you don't want to just check this and set your text here, so if you don't want to set it for a one by one, then you can just hit control and select the text, only the text part. If you hit control, then you can select all this text and set the size of this text to, let's say 16. 16 would be work fine. Hit compile and save. Okay, for the button part, so whenever we hover our button, it gonna change to something, let's say a red option, the red bar. So the same thing, just click on this button and hit control and select all the buttons. So you can see all the common interaction will show up here, right? So what we're gonna do, just in the appearance panel, click on this little icon to open up the slide. So by on normal view, don't want to change this, it's fine. But if it's hovered, then we want to change this tint to something called yellow. Yellow would be fine, right? Same for the pressed. So if we press, we want to change this to yellow, but if we pressing this, then the yellow should be a little bit darker, so it makes more sense, the little bit more effect of, yeah, we have pressed this one. Hit compile and save. So right now you can't see the changes, but it will. And let's name, obviously we want to name a proper naming. So for me, the first button would be the examine button. So examine underscore button, so BUT button for. Then the second one, just click on this and hit F2, so you can rename it. That's a simple thing. Second button would be your combine, so combine underscore button. Yep. Third button would be your use item, so use button, so use underscore button. And the second button would be your discard. So you want to discard the item, then this one. But this is only change the variables of the button, but we want to change this text also. So just click on this text, and the first text would be your combine, first text would be your examine, right? The second text would be your combine. The third text would be your use item, so use would be fine. Fourth text would be your discard. Yes. So we have done all these things. If you want to set it to capital letters, you can set it, and if you want to add images inside the button, right, like magnifying glass for this button, then you can also add images inside here. It's up to you. So this is it now, and inside the graph panel, this is designer palette and this is graph. So open up your graph and add one variable, and we're gonna call it a slot uh, inventory slot, because then it make more sense. Inventory slot type would be your inventory slot. So slot not this, the inventory slot, right? Inventory slot, yes, this one, inventory slot, the UI, the object reference we want. And we want this to this one, instance editable and exposed on spawn, because we want to expose this whenever we want to create an inventory. So make it instance editable and expose on spawn. Also we want another thing called slot structure. So slot struct, and a type of this would be your slot structure. So set for slot structure. This would also be instance editable and exposed on spawn. Hit compile, save, and we have done this thing. So we are good to go, right? Just close this up and let's open your inventory slot. So this is our inventory slot. So whenever we click on this, we want to create a little the inventory action. So how do you gonna do that? So if you see, you can see an override and a function. So we want a override, because whenever we click on this item, we want to do certain things. So if you get on this override, you can see this on mouse button down. Where was it? On mouse button down. Yep, this one. So we want to override this function, the on mouse button down. Make some room here. And whenever you override any key events, make sure on the return value you do the handle part, so it won't gonna iterate further. Otherwise you might face issues of FPS drop. So grab a node from this mouse event and check if is mouse button is down or not. Is mouse button is down, the mouse button would be your left mouse button, because we want to use that one. If it's true, so hit branch. So if our left mouse button is down, then what we want to do, we want to create that one, the inventory actions item, right? So let's make a function for that. So great, click on this function and toggle action. I want to call this function a toggle action, right? Hit compile, save. We have done this thing, and bring back to your on mouse button down, and we want to call this function called toggle actions. So whenever we click on your button, we want to toggle this one. So we have done this thing. Let's get on this toggle action. So what we want to do, so create a widget first, right? I am making a little bit room here, you will find this later on. And what we want to create, obviously our inventory actions, right? So whenever we created inventory action, you can see these two little pins, because we have exposed on spawn. So this is why these little two pins are setting. Okay, the slot structure would be your this one, the slot structure. So get a node and attach it to here. And the slot would be your this slot, the current slot we are working on. So self reference would be fine. So get a self reference, just search, grab a node from here and search for self. You can find this one. Okay, after that we want to promote this to a variable, and we're gonna call it actions. So action UI, this is why it makes more sense, right? After that we want to attach it to our players slot. So how are we gonna do that? So let's cast this to our player character. You have to cast this to wherever your HUD is applied. My HUD is applied on your player, my player character, the third person player character. This is why I am casting it to third person, because I want to use my HUD and attach this widget inside our HUD. This is why I am casting this to my player character. just get player character, this one. Okay, from this I'm gonna just get the HUD, and from that HUD what I want the canvas, this one, the get canvas, and we want to add a child to this canvas. So add child to canvas. The child we want to add is the inventory actions, right? This one, the inventory actions, we want to add this to our child. After adding, set the auto size and set the position. So set position, right? So we want to set the position, but where do you want to set the position? So let me get the mouse pointer. So get this function, get position on viewport, this one, get mouse position on viewport, because we want to set on our mouse position, and the position return value would go inside here. So if we click on this, our pop-up, our inventory action should be pop-up. So let's test if it's working or not. If it click on this, you can see this little menu is popping up, and if you hover on these buttons, you can see this little yellow icons. If you click on this, it will changing to this dark one. Let's play on a bigger value. Yep, so it is popping up, but I don't think it looks much better because it's much small. So let's set this size box value to something, let's set 300. It just try an error method. 300 would work fine, I guess. Okay, this is not happening. You can see another, if you click on this, it is spawning again and again, but we can fix this later. Okay, this is our inventory actions. Okay, width override to 200. Yep, because we want to set this inventory. Okay, so we have done this. We can fix this issue later because we have a much more things to worry about. Okay, so you can see we have done this thing. Now what? You have faced this issue of creating the toggle actions every time, because we don't want that. So what we want actually, so get the action UI, this one, the variable we have just promoted inside here. So we want to just create this action widget if it's not already present. So just right click on this little blue pin inside here and convert it to validate get. Yep, right. So we only want to create that if it's not already present, right? So hit compile and save. If it's present, then we want to just remove that. That's fine. Okay, and let's now see. So if it's already present, then it won't gonna present again. If we're gonna click that, nothing will happen. You can see for this only one slot is present. If you can see, it will present again, but we're gonna fix this issue later, right? So we have done this thing. Now let me just check a little bit. Okay, this one is our slot. So we are back. So we have done this thing. Now we need another function called toggle the opacity. So toggle opacity, and this function would toggle the opacity of one tool. So our user can see, yes, we have selected this slot and all other slots are a little bit down, so we don't want to see that. And for that we want to make a boolean call is active, so the active boolean, only the active boolean should be visible, right? So how are you gonna do that? So first, on the toggle opacity, what we want, so first we want a boolean. So click on this function and get opacity on. I want to create this parameter of opacity on, and for if it's true, then and then we want to set this opacity, otherwise not. So how are you gonna do that? So grab your inventory. Inside your inventory, get the inventory UI, this one, because yes, we want to set all the slot opacity, all the slots. This is why we have grabbed this inventory. Inside UI, if you remember, we have that grid panel, the inventory grid, yes, and all the grid panel, it has only the child, so get the child, so get all children, yep, and the all children would be a slots, right? So just get and hit for each loop, right? We know that all the children of this grid panel is our cast, the slots, so we want to just cast to slot, the inventory slot, right? And the inventory slots would be the is active, so get this boolean and set is to is active. The is active would be this one, the value of this boolean. After that we want to change the opacity. So how are you gonna change that? So let's make another function, call update opacity. Hit branch, and if it's active, yes, our selected slot is active, then what we want to do, we want to set the render opacity to 1, because our slot is active, right? And just click on this and Ctrl W to duplicate that. If it's not, then we want to set a render opacity to 0.6 or something. Yes, it would be fine. So yes, we have done this function, just close that up because we don't need that. After that, grab a node from this casting and update your opacity, the function we have just created, right? So it's done. Now bring back to your this one, and after doing all these things, just update the opacity, and whenever we click, we want to set the is active to true for this slot. So set is active to true for this slot, right? Makes a little bit room here, so it makes more sense. So we only want to set the it is active for this one, the current selected slot, otherwise not. So we have done this thing, and what we want to do is we want to grab that toggle opacity, this one. So you can see we have one boolean, so we want to set all the opacity of non-selected item to false, and we only want to set the opacity of this current one to true. So let me give you a real quick on what this gonna look. So right now our opacity is 1. If you click on this, you can see this one is only facing another opacity is a slight decreased, right? So if we can make this, close that up, this one. So we have done all this thing. Okay, now what? Now if it falls, then we want to remove that as well. So how do you gonna do that? So remove from parent, search for remove from parent, and what we want to remove, we want to remove the item action UI. So just grab this item action And wait, let me just get this one real quick. Yep, so we want to remove that one. After removing that, we want to set this to false because we don't want this one, because that's why we set it back to null. After that, call that toggle opacity function and set back to false because it's done. Hit compile, save. So it will gonna now look something like this. Let's hit play. If you hit tab, if you press this, it will gonna press. If you press again, it will gonna call. But you can see this little issue. It will gonna call it for every single slot, and we don't want that. So what we're gonna do? We just wanna disable all the things. So let's create another function, and we just gonna call it disable the action bar. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna just disable this action bar for every single thing except from that. And on the toggle action, we're gonna just call that disable, not this one, the disable action bar. Yes, the function we have just created. So it will gonna disable all the other functions, other action bars we are popping up in this. So how do you gonna disable it? Same thing we have done before for the inventory opacity slot. Get the inventory UI. From that, get the grid panel. Let's make this a little bit clean code. From that, get all the children, and for each loop, what we want to do is, for each loop we want to cast this to a slot, cast to slot, and after that get action inventory actions, right? Action UI, this one, and right click to convert this to validate, because we don't want to set it to null. So if it's valid, then and then we want to remove it, then and then. So remove this from parent, and after that set the action UI to false, I mean null. This means null. If you don't set any asset, you can see a little none here. This means none. If you accidentally selected something in here, you can just click on this to set back to null. Hit compile and save, and let's check this out. If we hit play, tab, if the now present on this, if you click on this, so it is present on only one slot. We have overcome that method, right? So we have done all these things, and now only for this part. So let's make 4 functions. First one is examine, second one is combine, third one is use, and fourth one is discard. Simple. And we want to call this all 4 functions whenever our player is click on this any of these buttons. So if you click on this examine button, then you can see this little details panel. If you scroll back to this, you can see this on clicked event. Just click on this and you can see this on clicked examine. We want to just call that examine function, right? You can also add event of on clicked. It's where was it? The discard item, combine item, right? This one, the combine. So we want to call this functions. So how do you gonna call that? just click on this combine button and you can see this little on clicked event. You can attach it from here also. So for combining, it will gonna combine. Same for use item, it will gonna use the item. So use function we have just created. These all functions are empty right now, but just make this a little bit more clean. And for discard, just click on this discard. It compiles and it's all good now. So if you play, you can see this a little icon, our game is already paused, and you can see this little inventory actions event. If you tab, it will gone, but if before it's gone, you can see this little inventory action. We don't want that, so let's also fix that issue. So open your inventory component and you can see this toggling inventory. So if we off the inventory, what we want, so just grab this inventory UI, from that get the inventory grid panel, right? And we don't want the all child before, because we don't want to just call that disable function, it will gonna disable all the actions bar, right? So just get child at index. So get child at this function, because for the first index it will also gonna remove that, so we don't want that for loop. And for this one, what we want to do, we want to cast it to slot. So cast it to inventory slot and just call that function, call disable the action bar, and attach it to here. And this is valid is go to here, this casting. So let's test this out. This is present. If we hit tab, it's gone. Yep, the game is also paused. If we tab again, it's running. So we have done these things. So this is it for it now. So thank you so much guys for watching, and bye bye.